Good afternoon, US. Good evening, UK. Hope everyone's all right. And today I visited my friend, Patricia Ramfarel. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
This is all weird because I'm not used to sitting with somebody and talking to them. So, yeah, it's totally weird. So, if things go wrong, then, yeah, we'll try our best on different Wi-Fi as well. So, see how it goes. So, we'll just do the normal, really. So, I've known you ages, haven't I? But you've been a medium for years, haven't you?
Many years, yeah.
So, when did you start your mediumship?
I suppose not long after I'd lost my mum. I'd always picked up on different things. And then when I lost her, you sort of go around looking for proof that she's still here or there or wherever. And then I got drawn in to working with other people of like minds, spirited people, and joined a circle, was invited to join a circle.
Oh, wow.
At that time. And it sort of went from there. The lady that was running the circle became quite ill after a while and asked me to take over, and it all seemed to go from strength to strength then.
That's brilliant. But did you get any sign of being a medium before you lost?
I used to pick up things as a child. I used to have weird dreams and then find that some of the things connected with that would connect the following day or a couple of days later. So quite often.
Oh, wow. Hello. Yeah. That's brilliant, though. You know, you've done it so long, haven't you?
I have.
You really have.
Still enjoy it, though.
Hi, Terry. We're just trying something different. So I've actually visited Patricia. I've known Patricia quite a while. And I thought we'd just pop round, really, just say hello and then try and run it from here, really. So I've just been round for tea, really. It's been quite nice, hasn't it?
It's been lovely.
Just have a get-together sometimes. It's just lovely to do that, isn't it? You know, we've got a time when things are quite hard. You know, like we're stuck in the house, it's raining a lot, and it's just nice to catch up, isn't it?
It is, because very often when you're sort of at home and the weather's not good, you feel cut off, don't you? And I'm sure you do as well at times.
Yeah.
You just get that, it's nice to have company, have a catch-up and a laugh.
Oh, definitely, because, you know, we both are on our own and stuff, and there's so much negativity in the world all the time, isn't it? And
yes, there can be.
It shouldn't really be, but oh my gosh, Drew, how you doing as well? Yeah, so lovely to see so many people on here. Oh, thanks. Nigel's from the North Pole. Thanks for sharing. But yeah, it's just wonderful to see you. And basically, if anyone's got any questions about mediumship or anything like that, I'm glad you're all right, Drew. If you just want to ask any questions, just go ahead.
I'll do my best.
Now, Patricia actually does a ghost walk. Oh, I miss you, Drew. Patricia actually does a ghost walk. It's like once a month, isn't it?
It is. But it's documented hauntings and history, which I've sort of gleaned a lot of facts from the local heritage centre and the local people. So not making stuff up. It's all quite genuine stuff as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's it. Like every place has history, doesn't it?
But it does.
People don't always look at it. Now, Shardlow, where you do the famous Shardlow ghost walks, that's what you go by and people can book on by looking at your page and site. You know, it's got a river, it's got a canal, and you don't really think anything of it.
No.
But then there's these great big buildings, which, you know, obviously were used back in the day, weren't they, for storage and everything.
Most of the stuff's still there, but a lot of it, of course, has changed use. Some of them are quite handily changed to pubs and eateries, which is lovely. But the buildings themselves are beautiful in their way. A lot of them have been restored. And Shardlow is the biggest and best conserved inland port in Europe. And it is a conservation area, and it's lovely. And Shardlow people are lovely as well.
Yeah, that's it, right. Like when I was younger, I always used to go to a pub there. And the Hoskins Wharf, it's the Clock Warehouse now.
Yes,
that was an original building, wasn't it?
Yes. It was a grain store and a corn mill. And at some time in its history, it was the Canal Tavern. And Hoskins, you find that a lot of the canal merchants all intermarried, and Hoskins was the surname of one of the canal merchant families, and their daughter married into another family, but they were all within Shardlow, and their names are on a lot of different things. So it is quite fascinating.
Yeah, so it's a small village. It's got like so much going on, and when you look at the buildings as well, you know, they all look like interesting buildings, historical as well. And I think people generally don't see that, do they, when they go anywhere?
They
well, I used to
don't.
go there all the time and never realise, you know, you
But
don't.
there's bits of it that you don't see unless you're on foot and walking
That's
around
right,
and
yeah.
having a good nosy.
Because for me, I just go to the pubs. So you've got one pub at the top, and then you've got a little lane with two pubs, and
Yeah,
that's all I'd notice. I wouldn't notice the beautiful like properties around there, and you know, you don't even think of the history of anything, do you? When you just go an A to B.
you don't. But I do love a bit of history, and if there's old buildings, I've got to have a poke round them and just see what comes out to play, as you do.
Yeah. So how haunted are they?
The clock warehouse has got a few little friends.
Yeah.
And is that
Tracy?
Oh, there's Tracy.
Yeah, I've got
bless her.
Tracy. So Tracy's a good friend as well.
She is. She works with us sometimes.
Yeah.
But yes, the clock warehouse has got report. Well, I've seen bits and pieces there, but not seen all the hauntings that are reported there. But there are one or two things that certainly you can't deny. And then there's the Navigation pub on the opposite corner. That's got a little bit of history attached to it. It started off as a private house, and then as things change and people pass on, they buildings change use. So private house became a pub, and there are reported things from there, and sounds and rappings and tappings that can't be explained. Then you go a bit further down, and you get right down to the bottom. There's the malt shovel, and that has a reputation for being haunted. I haven't seen anything there, but it's just information that I've picked up from the Heritage Centre.
And that's it. You know, you can pick up things anyway because you're a medium, but at the same time, you look at the history as well.
Yes.
So you've got the both sides, haven't you?
It's
really
fascinating, really. I love a bit of history.
So Tracy said it's fascinating. I learnt a lot about it that I didn't know when I met Pat. And that's it, you know, like you don't always look into a place properly, do you? You just go there with your eyes shut in a way, and you might spot the odd building, like Terry notices a few, and you think, oh, that's nice, and that's it. That's as far as you go. But to actually know about an area, that's quite amazing, isn't it? And to learn about it. Hi, Sam. Thanks for watching. Oh, bless you, Sharon. Sending hugs to you, okay? Oh, okay. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. Thanks for that.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. So, but this mediumship, you know, you've had so many stories really to tell.
We have.
What's your strangest experience you've had then? Like you've had loads.
The strangest one that I had was when I was at Tutbury Castle one night. There was a chap there that was doing the history side of things, and he was there for the whole night. He was doing the sleepover with the guests. I wasn't. And I'm sorry I'm a bit breathless, folks. I've got long COVID, and I get a bit breathless from time to time, but I still keep talking.
Oh,
so,
bless you.
Yeah, we were upstairs. The chap that was stopping overnight had done his little ghosty bit walking around the perimeter of the site and told us all the history and reported hauntings. And then I started working while he was having a snooze on the chair, and I was doing my mediumship bit, and I could hear noises downstairs, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I knew that we'd got 19 guests plus ourselves, this chap and me, and I could hear noises downstairs like voices whispering and catches rattling. And at the bottom of the stairs from the Great Hall, there were two doors with catches that would have rattled, but there was no one there to rattle them. So we thought, well, maybe maybe it's the kitchen staff, because they had put some food on for us. But as we were looking out the window, they were driving off well down the drive, so it definitely wasn't them. Then I thought it might possibly be one of the guests, and I counted, and we'd only got 18. I thought, yes, someone's downstairs messing about. Then I heard the toilet flush, so it definitely wasn't them. And we'd got 3 chaps, I think they'd been to TK Maxx because they've got matching torches, red, white and blue. And they all went scaling down the stairs and checking everything out. There was absolutely nothing there at all. But we could hear voices. The catches were rattling, so something was doing something. And it went on for quite a while. And it absolutely fascinated. We tried the 2 sets of stairs, one from the back of the hall and one from the centre of the hall. We tried everything. There was nobody around, no answers. But it is a very active place at various times. So
now we had some really strange encounter. Like you sometimes book it, don't you?
Yes.
And we were on, was it the Underhang? What's it called?
The Undercroft.
The Undercroft. Okay, so we're in the Undercroft, and there's about 16 of us, and 15 of us had a K2, and we all.
You're right.
I heard a noise. That's all right. It's okay. They're all women. Okay, so there's 15 women and 1 bloke. So when the women were in the Undercroft and the bloke moved away from us, all the K2s went to bright red. Now, there's no electricity around or anything. It's sort of...
It's below ground level as well. You have to step down into it. The stairs going down into it.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think at one time it was like a cellar storeroom or something of that ilk. But there's no electricity, never has been. And you would think because it's below ground level, it's not picking up on radio signals or anything because they go in a straight line. So we had no answer to it. But
because about the phone situation.
Yes.
We turn the phones on tonight, flight mode, but even if you use a phone next door to a K2, generally it will just go up to amber.
Yes.
And down again, won't it?
That's right. It fidgets about.
Intermittently goes to amber and down. But the fact that is all of them, all 15 of them, went to red. And then when the bloke moved away from when the bloke moved towards us, they all went off. So
it was strange.
It was strange. He approached us, no action. He moved away and they all went red. And it's just things like that which are wonderful, aren't they?
They are. He'd obviously got a little friend with him.
Or something was going on, or it was like somebody from back in the day who liked women and we didn't want him around it.
That might have been the little friend, so to speak.
I see, but and that's the thing about paranormal. It's so fascinating, isn't it?
It is, because it's never the same twice.
No,
you get similar things, but never the same, and you never stop learning or finding something new. It's a continuing pathway, I always think.
Yeah, as Tracy said, it's very strange. Never seen that happen before and since, and that's it. And people, we keep saying, people say, "Oh, don't use this, don't use that," but actually, sometimes you get this amazing evidence, and you just can't, And it's the fact that this bloke was moving towards us, and then went off and away, and it went red, and
you pick
amazing.
things up yourself, but these gadgets, or whatever they are, these little appliances, they confirm what you think you're picking up, so they are quite useful.
Yeah, that's it, because obviously you do your mediumship, so you do pick up
a
lot of things, don't you? And
I do. A lot of people do. If you're clairsentient or sensitive, you will.
Oh,
but hello, have we got somebody new?
Yeah, we've got Lois. Hi, Lois. Lois is watching. Oh, bless you.
Oh.
Yeah, but it is wonderful. And so with mediumship, what can you do? Can you see them, hear them?
I sometimes see them. It's quite fleeting, and sometimes it's out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
More often than not, it's with what you call the third eye.
Yeah.
I can see stuff there. I can sense stuff, clairsentience, and sometimes it's like a voice in my head. Occasionally I hear things outside. But tend to hear it in my head, or it's like a strong thought voice. It's how it tends to work with me. And I often pick up on fragrances as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which are
That's
interesting.
Yeah, it is brilliant, isn't it? Because my sense of smell is shocking. But then I can be like at an investigation, I can smell something. I think, well, I can't usually, and it's usually perfume or
Yes,
cigarette smoke or something like that, which can't possibly be in the area because you're usually in a building somewhere away from people smoking.
that's it.
And
but you're being
you
given
get
that
these,
as a prompt, aren't you, really?
That's right. It's
And
brilliant.
there's one chap that I used to watch work regularly years ago, a gentleman called Peter. I can't remember his surname now, but he used to be very, very hard of hearing. He used to have to wear hearing aids. When he was working on the platform, giving messages and information to people, he used to take his hearing aids out because he could hear spirit perfectly.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that was always, I used to think, yeah, that was quite interesting.
It is brilliant how spirit works.
It is. It's like I say, it's just like a constant learning thing. I'd never even thought of that aspect, but it was really good.
And they always say they'll only show you as much as that you can take, really.
Yes.
And for me, like, I think if I ever, I started seeing them maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I saw something just appear. It's like, shit, I've just seen something.
Yeah.
And that is not like what I'm used to doing. But when I first encountered them, it was a bit of a strange experience, and Patricia was actually there.
Yes.
So I used to go along to all the events, and you get flashing this, flashing that, beeping this and that.
You do.
Your tables, and it was like, you just go. You're in these lovely historical buildings. You're feeling the energy of the buildings. And then one night, we're doing an energy circle, and this little girl kind of made her presence known, and I was in a bit of a pickle, and it scared me, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
But from then, that's why I do what I do.
But they're only people, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, but I was scared to death about coming home with me. You know that.
Oh, yes. But
yeah, because it was like 20 to 2, weren't it? We're just about to finish, and I got this girl around me in a bad way. But yeah,
bless her.
We're sort of, but and that is, and you kind of, things just crop up, and it is just amazing, isn't it? So we've got a comment here from Andy. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's lovely. So always nice to visit a new town, city, public park, and sense new things. Learn about the place you're at, then check your answers with the facts.
Best way to go.
That is brilliant.
Yes, it is.
I do sort of tend to go to locations. I don't really want to know any history. I'm actually at a place, National Justice Museum, on Friday night with some friends. We're booked with Haunted Heritage, but we're going to be working together. And it's a very powerful place, and there's some like empaths and mediums going, so it's going to be quite a night. And last time I was there, there's 4 of us going who were there together last time, and there's a really strong male presence. And I've also got links to my past life, so we're expecting quite a lot of activity. And it's also the location of my first ever ghost hunt as well in 2003. So it's an interesting place, isn't it? When you know something, it's the first time you ever did it there, and now you're going back, and
different parts of it feel stronger than others, don't they?
Oh yeah,
and some are definitely. Really quite.
Yeah, it's in the
there's
a room where all the women prisoners were put who were pregnant, and that's where we had the issue last time. But
and the oubliette as well.
The oubliette is nasty. It's just plain nasty. I
saw 3 people in there.
Oh God, that's gross.
Yeah,
because basically the oubliette they're just chucked in to die, weren't they?
Chucked in and forgotten. That's what it meant.
Yeah, and that was it.
The place for being forgotten.
You go to these grim places and like, oh, what's happened under your feet before you got there?
I could just see 3 people in front of me.
Oh wow!
One was quite small, and one sort of medium size, and the tallest one. They all seemed to be in quite raggy clothing, but the tallest one, and the faces were quite red. So whether that was some sort of illness or fever that they'd got, but one's mouth was wide open as if they were screaming and screaming. It was horrible, but it was there and it was gone. That was the night when we were all there.
Somebody's touching me on now.
Oh well, they've come in to help.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, so we've got history. History is so much to do with energy left behind before us and so forth and so on. Very interesting. All history everywhere. History has everything to do with our culture and limits today. And that's true, isn't it?
It is.
But like even land, you don't know what it was used for. Like
No, I think there's echoes in everything if you look carefully enough.
oh, Andy's had a lot of senses, but never all at once. But oh, it is just so fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Sam, I understand. I hear things too. I finally quit asking. Did you hear the lady guy, etc.?
Oh.
Yeah, but I can't hear them talk. But
I'm just thinking, Andy saying he's never felt all those things at once. I don't tend to get them all at once. you sort of go into a room and you almost listening, almost sensing, and seeing what will come to you. And sometimes you will see something.
yeah.
Then as you go on a little bit more, you'll perhaps get a picture in your head, or some information will come in, or you'll see movement, but it doesn't always come at once. Very rarely. It's just little bits come in sequence, really.
Yeah, you certainly got to have confidence as well. Like if you've got a certain name pop in your head randomly, it's like, well, where's it from? You know, why have you got this name, or why have you got this place name as well? And
yes,
you know, there's a lot of confidence issues, isn't there, in
yes,
mediumship? And
there is, but you've got to trust spirit and go for it, really.
yeah, that's right. It is fascinating because I never believed in mediums actually.
No.
About 8 years ago, I started development, and now I can see in my mind's eye. I actually saw a couple of weeks ago out the corner. I actually felt someone touching me now 3 times. Somebody touched me again on Saturday. Oh God, he had horrible bony fingers. I was repulsed. I was talking to somebody at Derby Jail.
Oh yes.
This lady was at the bar looking at me. Her face was changing because she saw him walk by me. I just saw him there, and then I felt his bony fingers right across. It's like, oh God. So I told him off because I found it really gross. But in a way, it's good because I've never experienced that before.
No.
But yeah, so yeah, I've just kind of got to the stage where I actually feel people touching me, which I don't know if that's good or bad. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
It adds to the picture a bit. So Jackie, I have sinus problems, and when we have been, have smelt stuff. Same with hearing. I have hearing aids, but hear things I wouldn't normally hear.
Oh, bless you.
And it's true, isn't it? That's Tracy.
That's Tracy. Yeah, she does.
And you know, it's a fascinating world. You know, senses you haven't got, and oh gosh, you've got trouble as well. Oh, bless you. This COVID, you know, like Patricia's struggling with it, and so many. Yeah, here we go. There's Tracy as well. COVID's not helped Tracy, and it's just shocking, isn't it? What's happened in this world, and it just shows you've got to make the most of what you can now.
You must.
Sounds like that will be a busy night. Yeah, it will be. Will be good for you to go back and see if you pick up on something new or different. Yeah, I've got an issue with my past life. So, about 2 years ago, I was talking about this particular spirit. There's a judge there, and whenever I talk about him, he appears behind me as well. So I've got to be careful.
Yes.
He does. It's weird. And it turns out I had the past life. We were just talking about him on a show, and Patricia said, I pick up that you hung at the National Justice Museum. So I did a past life regression, and yes, I got to a stage in the past life where I was actually in the court and being sentenced. And I just bailed out of it because I knew what was coming. And yeah, I've been back since once, and I'm going back again this weekend. And yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of stories to go with this, and you're just trying to get a picture of what's going on and why is he still hanging around me, really.
Yes.
I don't know. I spoke about him somewhere recently, and people knew he was around me, so it's really odd. So he just comes as soon as you start talking about it.
Obviously draws close.
Oh God, he does. Yeah. So when I actually go to his court and sit in his chair, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Last time, yeah, I got overshadowed rather badly, but hey, it's all good. Hi, Charles. Hope you're well from Texas. Thanks everyone for joining in. Partner's definitely been here. I'm a smoker, but sometimes get a big smell. Oh, that's lovely. If he's around, that's lovely.
Oh,
Partner's around. That's brilliant. So we've got no, we've got a scammer. We don't want that. Oh dear, how do you get rid of them? Let's get rid of that person. Oh, why do they do that?
I didn't even get a chance to see that. Just
send me a friend request for a reading. No, go away. Hi, Michelle. How you doing? Hope you're well. So we're talking about Michelle last night because she makes these cool, like, little REM pods of ghosts, and they're brilliant. Oh, no, again. Yes, okay. We've got rid of that one. Block that person, by the way. Oh, bless you, Andy. Okay, so...
Oh.
Mandy, I can never understand why people try to destroy history. Statues, it happened, whether we like it or not. And that's it, isn't it, about Bristol?
It is
and
what
a lot
it
of
is.
them, you know, and yeah, it's like we've got to hide the history, but yeah, it's not good. But if we can learn lessons from it, surely.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and I'm sorry, somebody did a podcast, Annette Locke, she tried to do a podcast last night, and she posted on, and it's about Hangman, right? And she posted on Facebook a picture. It wasn't graphic, it was like a stick man. And Facebook took offence.
Oh.
You know, and what is the world coming to? You know what I mean? Like, and don't spell how wrong, will you? Because if you do, that's it. You're in trouble. You're banned. Seriously. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Me and hubby smoke, but not in the house, and smell it sometimes. I think it's my hubby's dad, as it's a type of tobacco he smokes. It's lovely, isn't it?
It is. And I think what spirit does, they'll come and they'll impress you with a fragrance that is just
that's brilliant.
Their information that they're giving you, just to let you know that they're okay.
Oh, I'm glad you're all right, though, Charles. I know you've been struggling recently, but oh, bless you. Yeah, so Charles can hear and speak after his NDE, which, wow.
Oh.
So it probably sort of opened the way, really.
Often so, yeah.
Just, you know, to the world. Michelle says, I can hear them have a bit of conversations, sometimes see them. I do get touched. Sometimes it makes me jump because you don't expect it. And I do see images in my third eye and can smell things.
Yeah, excellent.
That's awesome. But yeah, I've worked with you and went to Teens Day, and that was awesome, weren't it? And your kids are brilliant as well. And it's nice that we're learning. You know, they're allowed to learn. No, and well, it is hanging judge. Is a judge who found everyone guilty, and he had a deal going with the executioner. He actually lives that Robin Hood experience, so that was where he lived when he was alive.
That was his townhouse.
You've met him. He's Patricia's met. You've met John, haven't you?
Met the essence of him. Yeah,
we've met. Yeah, and he used to drink in the two pubs in Nottingham that we know of. So I've investigated the Salutation and the Trip. And we've actually found him in both of them. And we actually picked up on a story about a prostitute where this judge ran this ring under the Salutation pub, and a prostitute had an illegitimate child. And I actually think it belongs to the judge, because we picked up somewhere else that, you know what I mean? And it's weird that you're linking into different aspects of his life.
Yes, yeah.
In different places. But this hanging judge, I've also got a problem with him as well. Hanging Judge Jeffries, and I don't know what's happened here, but I went to Skerrid one day, and my car, my mum used to have the car before me. So when I lost my mum and my dad, I had the car. And I've had some really weird experiences with the car, particularly when going to Matlock. The clutch always goes.
Oh, I remember.
And it's absolutely fine. That was so funny.
Yeah.
But I went to the Skerrid Inn, and I was just driving. The minute I left home, the emergency warning light was coming on the engine. So I tapped something and it went. And it was just all the way down the motorway. But before I left, a medium, Marie Radford, who's a great friend, used to be on a team with her. She actually drew a picture of this bloke, and she said that this bloke would be waiting for me outside the Skirrid Inn. And this bloke had a watch, and on this watch it said 4:00. Okay. So we made the journey to the Skirrid Inn, and it's a shocking day as well. There's wind, rain, and everything. And we had to go and put the tent up because we're doing an all-nighter at the Skirrid Inn, and I can't drive to Wales, do an all-nighter and drive back because it's 3 to 4 hours, I guess. It's quite a way. So on the way to the campsite, I put it in the sat nav to go directly to the campsite. We saw a pub. I thought, okay, I'll just go for a drink there. So we stopped to have a coffee. It was Skirrid, and it was 4:00, and that's what it said on the drawing.
Oh.
And the person with me actually saw him waiting at the steps. So I then took this picture, this drawing in to the staff at the Skirrid and said, well, who's this guy? I said, I've been warned that he's waiting for me. And it was hanging Judge Jeffreys.
Goodness.
So, but he is not the same one who is at the National Justice Museum. Hanging Judge Jeffreys years were like, I can't remember, I'm rubbish at history. It's like 1600s, 1400s or something.
1600s.
1600s. Whereas Judge John Black, the one which I do have an issue with, is the 1800s. So it is interesting. Last time I did go to National Justice Museum, Gary Fields was linking him. And I went and sat in the judge's chair, went back to base room, and Gary Fields has written on my Facebook profile, he's cheesed off now. So even Gary Fields was linking into him, being angry at me, yeah. So that was crazy. So we don't know what we expect on Friday night, but we're looking after each other. We're all experienced, and we're really going to take it careful.
Yeah.
We've got each other's backs, and we know what our limits are as well. We've worked together a few times. Hiya. Thanks for joining us, Mal. Hope you're okay. If you want to say where you're from, that's lovely. So we've got people from Texas watching, Charles, and the UK and everything. Oh, yeah. Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you, Tracy.
Tracy's an empath. She certainly
is. Yeah, Tracy is an empath. She's brilliant. Yeah. Nice nature as well, aren't you? Yeah. Andy, my dad was a heavy smoker, and I sometimes smell the brand of cigarettes occasionally.
Oh.
That's beautiful. I think the only time I smelt something was my granddad. So there's a house, there used to be a great big hall near where I live. And my granddad was a carpenter. And I knew he worked at one hall, but I was at the ruins of another hall nearby. And I don't know if he ever worked there. And I smelt polo mints. And Fox's Glacier mints. My granddad always had a Fox's Glacier mint because he never wanted us to know when we were kids that he smoked.
Oh.
We always knew he smoked. And but he always had mints, so they thought, they don't know, but we always knew, and it's all
trying to do
it's like a little secret, but it was always kind of sweet, wasn't it?
Definitely.
But I went there, and I did actually smell his Fox's Glacier mints, and it did make me wonder if he actually worked there as a carpenter, because the hall was there till about 1968, and that, he would have been around doing that then. So Tracy, Facebook does my head in. Yeah, I know. This is it. They let people like that troll on, don't they? Offering readings for everyone and all that.
Yes.
Wanting to make money, and yet fake profiles and everything, but you try and share too much or put a decent picture on, and what, also on the page, someone says hello, and it actually covers it up. When you're checking back the comments, it hides it. Because it might be offensive. They're just going, hi.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's a bit strange how it works, isn't it? But don't we all love Facebook? And we've all got to know each other on Facebook. So that's the thing, isn't it? Hi, Caroline. Hope you're all right.
Oh,
thanks for watching,
Sam.
anyone. And bless you. Oh, take care, Sam. Be careful, won't you?
Take care.
So, Andy, I once saw a little girl with a basin haircut at a local church. She was 10 and she looked after a younger brother after my parents died. After her parents died, our group sent her to a light with her family. Oh,
Yes.
It's beautiful when you can do that, isn't
Yes.
it? You know. And I've once again I was at the National Justice Museum, and we're in a little section, and it was set up like Narrow Marsh. And the Narrow Marsh was the area where all the peasants lived. You know, everyone was on the street, and
yes,
you know, it's
yes.
a really bad area of Nottingham, but you know that's where the poor people were on the streets and everything.
Yes.
And I realised that this bloke approaching me, you know, I sensed him, and in my mind's eye, I saw him, and he was dragging. He got handcuffs on. He was dragging something, and I didn't think. He got a great weight, and as soon as I acknowledged him, he just went, and the energy just changed, and it's beautiful, and everyone there experienced that as well. And it turns out it was ball and chains, wasn't it? You know, it's in hindsight you realise that, you know, got the great big heavy ball behind him and chains on his hands, and he's just approaching. And you know, you see these things. It's only later that you actually realise, oh wow, you know, this. You get the validation when you know it. Oh, hi, Annette. We're just talking about you and your problem with the hangman picture, which is ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, we're just on about how bad Facebook is at times. Yeah, well done, Andy. 1644, 1647. So I don't know why this judge has got an issue with me as well. So it's weird that hanging Judge Jeffries was waiting for me for I don't know what reason. And then I've got an issue with the judge from the 1800s as well.
Yeah. But didn't Judge Jeffries get hanged himself through overstepping the mark? I think he got over sort of cocky, and I think he ended up getting hanged himself. But perhaps somebody will put me right on that one.
Now that is interesting. Oh, hi from Wolverhampton. I was in Walsall just over a week ago. So I went and met the Wednesbury Paranormal team. They were lovely.
Oh.
So when a few of us just had a meet up, and it was lovely just to meet people, and just I hardly knew anybody, but it was great. You know, I saw Victoria Wells again, who I haven't seen for a while, and it's just lovely. Just a few of us just travelled to Walsall. Nice. And Kirsty Loxon from National Paranormal Investigators. But it's just lovely when you can meet up, isn't it?
It is.
Going around the pubs in Walsall when it's raining.
Checking them out,
Getting drowned in the meantime, because at the moment in the UK, the rain is stupid.
It's really bad, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, I know they've got fires like in Europe, and it's hot in the US, isn't it? And had fires in Canada and stuff. But UK seems to be getting everyone's rain at the moment. Yeah, Mandy, I don't know what it is. That's it. I really, it's a long going. I'm going to see if I can get a past life regression this week. But the past life regression I had, I actually bailed out because I got to a stage where I was in court in front of a judge, and I knew what the result was going to be. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you're linking into the past or the past life. You know what I mean? If they're around as well, you don't know if you go back to. I don't know. It's a bit. My head was going a bit crazy about what exactly you're doing on this.
Yes, I can understand. Yeah.
So I didn't really want to give him a satisfaction, sentence me to hang again.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. And that's
I know it sounds daft, but I thought, but no, I've got to try it again, so I can actually go into that. I think. Oh my gosh, yes. Have a problem with the person at Old Gresley Hall. They really don't like you going back on the 19th. I think it's all going to kick off, and I'm ready for it. You mean George? I had a bit of a standoff. Oh God, I had a bit of a standoff in one of the rooms on Saturday. So basically, I was with Ghost and Tours East Midlands. Ames Slaney, a friend, was running the event. Barry Frankish was there, and Amanda, who I host with. We're in a room, and I don't know. I was just, there's this bloke, and he'd got this energy around him. And I just started staring at him, And me and him, well, we were doing the board at the time, and me and him were just like locking eyes, and it's getting a bit intense. Because I think in the end I got somebody behind me.
Yes, yeah.
And it got a bit touchy. All of a sudden, the Ouija board just went flying. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, that's a bit disconcerting.
It was fine.
Well, it just makes you wary, doesn't it? It just puts you on your guard, really.
Yeah, it's like, wow, this is cool. But yeah, the other people in the room were like, but yeah, I thought this is cool. But yeah, I love it. Oh, I know. The thing is, Facebook, it's got us all together. But then they change the rules so you can't use it as well. Yeah, so Michelle does 3 card readings every Wednesday. Your SM Spirit researchers, can you just put your little link in there? I'm rubbish at things. I see it all the time, don't I? I'm terrible. I'm bad. Oh gosh, yeah, it was about that hangman. That was ridiculous. Joanne, the spirit used to throw a phone at my husband in the living room. Did you deserve it, Joanne? I bet he did. That's so funny. Oh, hi, Wayne. Hope you're all right. Your mate's not on tonight. First time for a while. Nice of you to join us. Have you got your show in a bit as well? The Dark Mirror show, definitely recommended. Andy, just Jeffries assigned many innocent people to be hung. Once he was hung, died, the number dropped to a very few. Yeah, but this is weird because the gentleman that we picked up in Nottingham, he also hung a lot of people. And he just found everyone guilty, and that he just got them hung. So
I think they were on a power trip, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of likenesses between him and Judge Jeffries.
Yeah.
Even though it's different, unless he's a reincarnation of Judge Jeffries. Well, no, we're not even going down that route. No. Jesus Christ. Apologies for blasphemy. It happens. So Judge Jeffries probably thinks he can still hang a witch. You saying I'm a witch then, Andy? Cheers. Sorry. I'm sure there's a similar thing with the Judge John that Jack is on about. That's it. He was known for it, wasn't it? It is weird, though, that my first conversation with the spirit was actually at Robin Hood Legacy, Robin Hood Experience. And I spoke to this little girl. So there was a little cellar bit, and I'm sitting down there with 3 people. We were the only ones in the building. And I picked up on this young girl. And I picked up that her mum and dad used to have an argument. She used to scream, so her dad chucked her down there, crying, and she got her teddy bear and saw what she was wearing. I was picking up quite a lot of information. That was the first, bit of mediumship where I sort of...
Yes.
And I was picking up that her dad pushed the mum down the stairs and killed her. And then, the next time I went, they said, it was really active. But then as soon as I stepped foot on the premises, nothing happened. It just died. 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, was the bloke stomping around? I says to the bloke, was that your daughter then, this Annalise? I got my name as, I don't know what it, And the activity then sort of ramped up. But he is the judge at the galleries who I have an issue with. So I don't get what's going on. It is complicated. And I love it. And most of Paranormal doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't.
That's what we like about it. And that looking at taking past life further, we came up with some information to follow. We're planning on channeling to contact a person by the same surname, also lost in the same tragedy.
That's interesting.
It is so fascinating. Was that with Robbie Crossan, or I forgot the guy's name? I'm not good at names now. But yeah. But it is fascinating, isn't it? It really is. Yeah, thanks for that. So that's Michelle's group then. So it's SM Spirit Searchers. Okay, so it's Facebook group. Sharon, can I ask if someone passing my house is into paranormal, could it bring other spirits or sorry, track them. Not sure really. But certainly nothing to worry about, to be fair.
If someone's passed away in your house, will it bring other...
Who was into paranormal? Well, not necessarily, you know. You don't know if they want to come. You know, it's one of them, isn't it?
I think very often, no matter if somebody passes in your house, often people that belong to them that are already passed will come and collect them and take them to the light. But I don't think...
Yeah,
I don't think they would be drawn in for anything quite randomly.
No, that's right. Like me, when something happens, I go and haunt my friends because they'll want me to. You know, like yeah. So you know, if I know they're going somewhere, I'll go along and have a laugh, right?
Have a whisper.
Yeah, Wayne. Cheers for checking in. You have, and not everyone has. Sorry, I'm terrible. They got money for hanging people. Yeah, probably. But they're also sadistic, weren't they? You know, and it's what gave them the kicks. It was a power trip as well, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, Mandy. He possibly thinks of you as a witch. I, on the other hand, definitely don't. Oh, bless you. No, you didn't. No, I'm not bothered. Like every woman was a witch, wasn't they? Wasn't married at one stage.
Yeah, could be.
You know, any woman, any woman who'd speak out was considered a witch. So,
I'm just looking at Tracy's thing as well. They got money for hanging people.
Yeah.
What they used to do, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, is that they used to cut the hanging rope up into little bits, and they would sell them as souvenirs. So it was money for old rope.
Oh, yeah.
That's where that came from, and that's how they used to make quite a bit of money. There were lots of bits and pieces that they used to do, and they used to get a few bob for it. You know, see themselves right.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was a major attraction, wasn't it?
It was.
You know, it's a carnival atmosphere. Probably got bets on and everything. Yeah. So you know, it's a bit gross, but no, don't worry about it. You haven't offended me. I'm just joking. Robbie, yeah, it is wicked, and that's the one. I've done 2 past life regressions. First time as a peasant at Nottingham Castle, and I actually lived where the Robin Hood experiences randomly.
Yeah, it's not far from the castle, is it?
Which is, you know, I mean, we keep getting the same links in different years, and
yeah,
I'm still in Nottingham, so I've had 3 lives in Nottingham and 3 sad ones. Well, no, it's all right now. 2 sad ones and this one. Oh, bless you, Tracy. Always, I'm a witch, and yeah, but witches know old ways, know herbs, you know, and you're in tune with nature, aren't you?
I think you were often just a wise person.
Yeah,
and because you had skills that others didn't understand, you were sort of hounded for it a bit sometimes, and yet you were just doing what you'd learned to do, probably herbs and various things that you could use to make people well, and other people probably thought that was quite mysterious.
Yeah, that's right.
You'd be a witch.
Yeah, but I know, you know, I know a lot of witches, and I'd love to work with her. You know what I mean? I'd love to know how to.
I've got a friend who's a hedge witch.
Yeah. I don't know. I like nature, and I like going out, and
absolutely.
I could, you know, like you go in the woods and it makes you feel happy, and you hear the birds, and it's like there is whispering around you.
It is,
you know what I mean, with the tree. I don't know. It just seems that, you know, to put crystals out and mix things. I have done. I went to the Rollright Stones.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And we put some herbs down, and it was lovely. And we did.
I've not been there for a while, but it is
we did a ritual
place
there, which was lovely, you know. But I don't know. It's a shame. But yeah, that was so good doing that. I really enjoyed that. So Annette, when she gets a chance, and if you look out for Annette. I tracked down the hangman and the judge who executed Birkenhair, the body snatchers.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's brilliant. But it's just fascinating history around, isn't it? Hiya, how you doing, Anne-Marie? Oh, I haven't seen you for ages. But it's just so nice to see everybody. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So did she teach you anything? Did she teach you any spells or anything like that? Because it is wonderful if you can understand what
Yeah. Yes, it
So
is.
what can benefit you really? Yeah, there are white witches, and that's it. And it
That's
generally,
right.
the word witch isn't what they kind of say it is, like Pendle witches. It was never a witch, and there weren't
No,
witches
no.
anyway. And
I think
terminology, it's more like spiritual, isn't it? Really. So
it.
it's
Yes.
cool. Oh yeah, and that's why I like camping. I love camping. I've had some dodgy experience, but I do like camping, and you just got earth around you, and you feel so relaxed and grounded, don't you?
You do. I couldn't do it now, but we used to camp an awful
definitely.
lot. It was magic.
Oh, it's beautiful just to hear everything. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Oh, bless you. Yeah. So if you got any questions for Patricia, go with it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk for England. I'm not bothered.
Bless you. Yeah, I'm going up to Scotland soon-ish, and I'm meeting up with a few people, so that's going to be great. So I should be doing a few lives with them.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah, I went up 2 to 3 years ago, so that was great. It'll be 2 years, won't it? I always say they're not much as that was a slur from the church. They were healing women, and
yes,
that's right. It's it's a word, but it's like not what they.
They got skills that other people didn't understand, but they were natural skills.
But for them, it was just a reason, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the Pendle witch story. I listened to it. Simon Entwistle told it at Derby Jail sometime last year, and I had no idea what
interesting chap.
I know I had no idea what the story was, but to actually hear it properly, and it well, as much as you can within about 2 hours, it's totally different from what I thought it was, and it's all about a bloke, wasn't it? Not really liking, and causing problems, but yeah. So, what's your most fascinating location then? But you've been to a few.
I think it's difficult to have a favourite. There's lots that I've really enjoyed. I do quite like the old pavilion, the Grand Pavilion at Matlock Bath.
I love that. Yeah, definitely.
Because it is so active, and there's so many stories connected with it. And there's a certain area where one spirit always comes out to play with me. She may not respond to anyone else, but as soon as I get there and start using stuff, she's there straight away. So, which is lovely. That's lovely. You just think, they get to know you after a while, I think, don't you?
They do, yeah. And I kind of think like some protect me now because I help out at the Paranormal Research Centre, and I kind of think they help me. They kind of protect me sometimes.
Yes,
which is not, like. They get to know you, and it is so lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, wow. Anne-Marie's going to Ireland soon, which is really cool, to one of the most haunted towns.
Oh, how
have
lovely.
A fantastic trip, and I hope it's relaxing for you. Okay. It's passed down generation to generation.
Yeah, I don't think Matthew Hopkins got off lightly after all, because he overstepped the mark. And somebody accused him of not being right, of having something going on. And he ended up being hanged. So I think he got his just deserves, really.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if you've got any questions for Patricia, go ahead and ask them and see what we can do, really.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so when you go, what's your favourite tools? Then obviously you've got mediumship. Do you sort of use anything else?
I don't tend to use a lot of gadgets. I know people do because it can confirm what they think they're picking up. I will use a K2 meter. I am very fond of dowsing rods, although people don't use them so much now. And I love a pendulum. Mm-hmm. I use a pendulum quite a lot. Yeah. But then they're only extensions of ourselves. Things move and work with us because we're making subconscious muscle movements, and that's surprisingly enough is what moves the rods and what moves the pendulums. Although people used to call it divination, they thought it was the divine working through them. It's because we're so much more sensitive, always have been, a lot more. There's different aspects to us that have almost been forgotten, but there's senses there that just seem to awaken when you're working that way.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We do lose skills, don't we?
We do.
You know,
it's all in there.
Like you even think like you would have done baking with your family, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I did baking. I did baking at school. So now, how many people at school would actually do baking? Not out of a packet, but actually do it. And those skills are going, aren't they?
I bet there's not an awful lot of people cooking full Sunday lunch these days either.
Well, there's that, yeah.
Well,
because
it's a happy thought.
Yeah, well, that's true, isn't it? You know, rather than just shove it in the microwave and there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, the world has changed, and it's like little things that you took for granted. It's like earlier on the camping page.
Oh.
I suddenly thought the first thing, like one of the first rules when I first went camping was keep your inner and your outer tent separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way they're designed now, they are apart.
Yes.
But then somebody mentioned like leaving stuff against it. I thought, my gosh, that was a rule number 1 years ago.
Yeah.
And now you just, as soon as you put it up, it is designed that way. And, you just forget about basics, don't you? So, Andy, dowsing rods and pendulums are more natural and can't be affected by the same things as K2s. I did used to use pendulums quite a lot. But then I had to go at dowsing rods, and they were like little helicopters.
Yeah, it's the way that you hold them.
I know.
I've got.
So I nearly poked my eye out. So
I've got dowsers, and I've got all sorts of weird and wonderful things. I've got Y rods. I've got spring bobbers. I've got all sorts of. I've quite an entertaining evening actually. Got all sorts of stuff, and it's fun. But it's surprising when people find that these things work with and through them. It's a fascination that suddenly seems to take hold for a bit. But
it's like if people have never used these things, then all of a sudden, it's working, and it's their like validation that there is something happening, isn't it?
It is.
We might have a light now. Let's see if we can do that.
Do you want me to put...
No, we're all right.
Okay.
We've got a light here, look.
Yeah, that's
the Coke
fine.
can holds it. We're all
we
good.
look good, don't we?
Got shadows. It's all right, isn't it?
Ooh.
So if it's not too bright. Is it all right? Too bright there? For you?
No, it's fine.
So evening, Luke. Hope you're all right. So Luke is near me, so we'll go out sometime. Kimberly, we went to went to a place in Sheffield, which was brilliant. I forgot what it's called. Magna. So it's to do with the old Sheffield steel and all that.
Yes.
So we went up there, and it's now like sort of a science museum. So investigated there, which was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you're walking up these upstairs on these metal walkways, and it's it's a totally different place to investigate. It's definitely interesting. Oh, they do it at secondary school. That's brilliant. I'm glad they still do, because you still want the skills to be around, don't you?
Yeah.
So that was brilliant. I know, that massive place and all them steps, and it had a little little airship thing in there as well.
Oh,
that was good. So you went in, and then that got seating, and it was like separated off. Yeah, our lives, they have changed, haven't they?
They have.
Men work and women stay at home, but that's it. We have to do things like because I live on my own, I cook a meal, and I'll have the same meal for 3 days.
Same here.
It's just like
slow cooking.
Well, you're not, you're not heating it all the time, are you? That's one thing. And then at the same time, it's easy, isn't it? So if you're going out, you just shove it in the microwave, and you're all sorted then. So yeah, it's just one of the ways. But so if you got any plans coming up, you got your walk? And
I've got a walk in about 10 days' time.
Yeah,
that'll be the August ghosty walk.
You sometimes do sort of mediumship people.
I've got an evening. Yes, I do sometimes get called in to do readings. got an event happening at a pub down the road. They've asked me to do an evening of mediumship there.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Sometime in September. I can't remember the date.
Yeah.
But that'll be posted up.
Yeah.
Get called to do different things. And, if I get called to do something, it's a change. It's pleasant. Gets you out. You get to meet people.
That's right.
And have a natter.
It is nice, isn't
all
it?
in a good cause.
Just
so
to get out.
Why not?
Yeah, that's brilliant. I've got a dog here. I've got Rosie. She wants to get up, but she's
no,
she's struggling. I think, bless her.
Come on, out of the way.
And Andy
Sorry
says, have you connected with anyone famous in the past?
Florence Nightingale, would you believe?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's brilliant.
And different things that came through were verified later. I can't remember much about it now because I used to have a mentor, a gentleman called Richard, and we used to sit and have one-to-one meditations. He trained me with a lot of aspects of my mediumship and with working in trance and all that sort of thing. He was absolutely wonderful. But there was one night we were sitting and I went quite deep, but he always used to keep an eye on me. And I got lots of strange pictures coming in. And people wrapped in linen and rags and all sorts of things. And then laying, some had passed away. She was nipping about with a strange sort of lantern thing. Nothing like the one outside the DRI, which is like a candle in a candlestick. It was like a box with a lamp of some sort in it. I don't know whether it was oil or candle. But what I did find was that in her pocket, she fetched something out of her pocket, and it was an owl.
Okay.
And I also got the name Athena.
Okay.
And Florence Nightingale had a pet little owl. And I won't give you any prizes for guessing what its name was.
Wow. My God.
And
that's so cool.
That was fascinated me. So I've always been felt connected with her. And when they were trying to move things about to do with her at the DRI in Derby, they wanted to move a statue and everything. I went on the rampage and I got so many people following and posting. She's still where she was and she's still where she needs to be because she helped design part of the DRI with one of the surgeons of the day. And she deserves to stay.
Yeah, so the DRI was Derby Royal Infirmary, which was in virtually the city centre of Derby.
It is, but it's now called the Florence Nightingale Community Hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a hospital there then on the side?
The hospital's still there.
Oh, I didn't know.
But not much of it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know there was one on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've always been fascinated when I've driven by the pepper pots.
Yes.
So the pepper pots were part of the original DRI.
They were part of it, there were.
And there's just two.
There used to be four, but there's two.
There's two buildings which obviously look like pepper pots. They've got little funny roofs.
Yeah.
Funny roofs on them. And, whenever you drive down there, it's like you kind of notice them. And they're on about making it like a restaurant area.
Yeah.
So I'm years looking forward to going there.
One of the security guys that was looking after it at one time said, you can come in and have a look. I said, well, just give me a shout as soon as I can. And of course, I never heard anything. So don't know what happened with that. But I'd love to go and have a look.
Yeah, we're not doing readings tonight, Chantel. I may get people on in future, or I might actually try readings because I can do readings. But no, we just generally have a chat on a Monday night, really, with special guests. And tonight, I've come round to see Patricia, a great friend of mine, and basically, you've been around a lot of my paranormal journey, really, because even though I started in 2003 with my ghost hunt, it's really cool the last few years when I met you, where it's actually ramped up, and I do it every week, and you kind of live it, don't you?
You do.
It's mad, isn't it? It just does take over your life.
I used to do a heck of a lot more than I'm able to do now because sadly I lost hubby a few years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And I have two doggies, so I have to time how long I'm out, but sometimes they'll come with me when it's okay.
Yeah, that's right. And they're beautiful. She's gone now. What's she doing? Oh, she's just
I
looking
think
at
she's
us.
been for a drink or something.
Bless her.
Who knows?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
dark and
mystery.
she's just like staring at us. Bless her. But yeah, if you've got any questions for Trisha, but you know, the mediumship route, you know, is amazing. And, you know, if anyone does wonder about going down the development route, I was always told, oh, are you sure? You know, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
once you start, you know, you can't really help what you actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Chantal, contact Michelle Needham, okay, SM Spirit Researchers, or Karen Evans as well, Karen Evans Medium, Robbie Crossan, Barry John. It's quite a few mediums if you do want readings, but yeah, try Michelle Needham. She's, if you just check the comments above, a link is on there to the group, okay? Yeah. Oh, bless you. But yeah, you know, it's fascinating. And yeah, I do want to go to the Pepper Pots if we can.
I would love to.
Yeah, so as soon as it opens again.
If you get a chance, or I do, we'll
we'll
be in.
As soon as it's a restaurant, that's it. Let's see if we can go upstairs and check the whole place out.
While they're doing it up, see if we can sneak into the bones and stones of the place.
Oh, bless you, Charles. It's just a bit of a natter, isn't it? You know, like just chill out, have a natter, and got any questions, and that's it, really, isn't it? But yeah, Patricia's been here for a big part of my journey, really, and I want to thank you for that. You know, like, my gosh.
Well, we've had some good times together,
oh my
and
gosh,
thank
we
you
have,
for that.
Haven't we? And yeah, we
certainly
have had some laughs, and yeah. So,
we have.
You know, it's just a weird world, like I was saying with Paul Stevenson last night. It's kind of, you're on a journey, and then you kind of meet people on the way, and then you know that people go off one way, you go another way, and you know you just learn lessons along the way, good or bad.
You certainly do,
and that's the way. That's the way it is, isn't it? And it has been an interesting journey, and I'm meeting up with some good friends on Friday night, and let's see what will happen at National Justice Museum. Also, the last time I got together with some of these people was what Paul Stevenson mentioned last night. So that was when I went to Matlock Pavilion, and that's actually going to be in the next episode of the Haunted Magazine, I believe. So that was absolutely,
that's a fascinating
place.
That
was a mad night. But you actually look after that location, don't you?
I help there sometimes.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
You sort of help on the sort of paranormal. You know, you go and sort of help while the teams are in there, which is great, and show them around.
There's not been an awful lot happening recently, but
wow,
that's they've been having repairs and what have you, haven't they? And it's sort of up and running properly again now, but they don't seem to have quite so many paranormal events.
Yeah,
I think they're doing more because it's a bit more posh now.
Oh yeah, the thing was about Matlock Pavilion, it was a building which was purchased for £1 by the local townspeople.
Yes.
So they've basically gone in as a charity, and they've redone it all.
Yeah.
Wooden floor, the roof, and the lot. And yeah, I guess the more it's like updated, maintained, then they're getting the big, you know, they're getting groups on and use the stage more.
They do.
Yeah, and it's great, you know, that they need the income, and
they've got
that's
to
brilliant.
the point with it where they were going to actually pull it down. The council were, because it was in such a state and it wasn't making any money, and the local people were very fond of the place and argued against it, and the council said, well, you can buy it for £1, giving them the millstone of it, I suppose, in a way. But it's just gone from strength to strength, and it's a lovely old building.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And got such a lot of history about it.
That's right. I think anybody who, like, I live in Nottingham, and anyone in this area, or Derbyshire in this area, it's like our local seaside area.
It is.
So as children, you know, because I think we're 80 miles from the coast, you know, you go there, it's less than an hour's drive, and you've got the amusement arcades, you've got fish and chips, you've got a river, you've got the little lights above it, and then they have little festivals as well. Yeah. And, you know, you've got a nice walk, and it does feel like a holiday place.
It's very pretty in September, October, when they've got the illuminations as well.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, they've got the boats going through there.
They have.
times, and they do pirate things and
yes,
all
I think the
sort of
pirate
weekends
weekend
and
might be
stuff.
next weekend. I'm not
Oh, wow,
100% sure.
They have fireworks, and
They do.
it's funny because I was investigating Matlock Pavilion one night, and these fireworks went off, and I weren't ready for them.
Yes.
So you're like,
Yes,
you know, you're
they're
there,
very
you're listening
close.
out, and then all of a sudden, what the hell's that?
They
But
are very close, and
it was absolutely brilliant
and loud.
Andy says, once you're open to receive, you can't always just switch off. I found myself walking past someone in the street and sensed a relative, not confident enough to approach them to say what I've sensed, and that's it.
That's understandable.
That's right.
And you're also frightened that you might be intruding and saying something at the wrong time that might cause them distress or not, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be in. I know there's been times when I've been perhaps somewhere sitting in a courtyard having a cup of tea, thinking of Glastonbury in particular, and a lady came and sat next to me, but she'd got an air about her. She looked as if she'd travelled a few miles, and she's got a dog with her. And I ended up buying her a pot of tea. She looked as if things weren't easy. And we sat, and I gave her a reading, but that was different because we'd already connected.
Yeah, that's right.
And I spent quite a bit of time giving her a reading. Can't remember much about that now. But she just, at that time, it was just what she needed. And so, you know, sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's more difficult. So you have to play it by ear or sense it. Do it what feels right is the way to go, I think.
Yeah, I was just chatting. I'm in a lot of groups, and there's a lot of chats as well. And there's this lady from Canada, and all of a sudden I picked something up about her, and you know, I was chatting to her, and you know, I'd known her for a while, so that, you know, and obviously she's into the paranormal thing because it was like a paranormal chat. So, and that was great, you know, and I just told her what I got, and you know, she could take it, and it's just beautiful, isn't
Sometimes
it? When you
it just helps them, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. You know,
you might be struggling on a rocky bit of road, so to speak, and you get a bit of an insight or a bit of.
It's just a little
bit of nudge from spirit, and it's lovely,
isn't it?
It is. It's lovely.
It is wonderful. So, Andy, true. Don't like to offend anyone, as people are easy. Oh God, people are very easy offended by everything now, aren't they? You're not allowed to say anything. It's oh God, it's too much, isn't it? By something that don't necessarily believe in it. That's it, isn't it? They don't believe in it, or you know, and then they'll find out sort of later on that actually that lady I met in the street, 100% right.
Yes, sometimes you can get a little message across without being too.
That's
you know, you can be subtle, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, it is fascinating, and I just love it, you know, and I'm so glad now that I did go down that route about 8 years ago, and I just want to learn more, and I want to develop more, and it'll
come.
Oh gosh, I hope so. Yeah, I'm
sure it will come. Don't force it. It'll come.
Well, no, like doing paranormal every week, it does. You know, you do pick up on things.
You do.
I think like you sort of like there's a few weeks where you like pick up on something, or like I think there's like 3 or 4 weeks I was picking up on spirit, and I was picking up more information than spirit wanted to tell me.
Oh yes.
And they didn't like that. You know what I mean? And they were like, what she want that for? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing medium, you know, you don't need to know what shoes I'm wearing, you know, and stuff like that. No. And they're getting quite arsy, you know, with someone else picking up on it.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's just they've got a certain thing that they're focused on letting you know.
Yeah, and then you see something they don't want you to see, and it's like, well, you know, like, I don't know where I'm getting it from. Hi, Jeanette, you're all right. What age? Oh gosh, what age did you have your first contact with spirit? God.
I started getting weird dreams and things that were coming through when I was probably 10, 11. Possibly a bit younger, but round about just leaving junior school and going to senior school, I suppose, really, round about that time. And just little bits and pieces coming in, but then I didn't really develop it or go into it properly until after I'd lost my mum and I was looking for answers. But there was always that potential and propensity there. I knew there was something more than me. So, used to just follow that a bit later on when I was braver. I suppose I wasn't very brave when I was a child.
Yeah. I guess really, I've always been in denial about it, okay? So no, I didn't see or anything. But then once I went for a walk with my boyfriend at the time, I was at school maybe, so just after 16, and we used to walk the local area. And we went over this field to these woods, just out the village. And there was a house, and I just felt I was staring at it, and I was drawn to go towards it. And actually, it's destroyed in 1968. So, you know what I mean? But I remember the image now of seeing this girl looking out a window at me, and yet, you know what I mean? But I didn't tell my boyfriend because he would have said it was stupid. But I remember now seeing that. I also lived in a pub where the landlord before died 15 years before, and he was the landlord, which everyone will remember the pub by. So there's a couple who ran the pub, and he was such a character. Everyone, like as soon as anyone took on that pub, it's like, oh, Jean and Albert, and they were the couple. And it was back in the day when they used to line all the drinks up. So it used to be 12 and 3, and then is it 6, 7 till 11, something like that. They used to have 2 separate times, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he used to have all the drinks lined up for when the regulars came in. So the doors open, that's it. They all got the drinks and paid and sorted it out. And I had a lot of encounters with him. So when we moved into the pub, we started hearing him about him. But then 2 years into running the pub, I ended up running it on my own. So I quit my day job because I was doing a day job and the pub. So I just ran the pub all on my own. He's sort of made his presence known more.
Oh.
And the dog sort of did random things as well. So I kind of ignored it still.
Yeah.
And then just before I lost my mum, there's a club what did ghost hunting every 2 weeks, mediumship every 2 weeks. I said, I don't believe in this mediumship. And but then I got involved in it and then lost my mum shortly after joining,
yes,
shortly after starting mediumship. And then that sort of finished, and then started mediumship again, and I lost my dad. So it kind of helped me through these things, which is, it's weird how spirit have just come to us when, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now, like, my mum and dad have been on a ghost hunt with me, which was fascinating. I think
good night, Sharon. Night, Sharon.
Night, Sharon. I think Anne-Marie Pullman was on that one as well. So it's at a theatre in Leicester. And Mum and Dad used to go down to Leicester every weekend because they had a market stall. So I was just driving down the motorway because it's about 20 miles ish to Leicester, not far. So I felt that my mum was alongside me, and I kind of felt that she was there. And we parked up, went in, and it was an auditorium, it's a theatre. So I sat in these stalls, and I went to start the event, and there's a medium there, and he said, you got a lady next to you? I said, yeah, Mum. He said, you got a gentleman behind you in a wheelchair. I said, no, I can't take it. Forgetting my dad had been in a wheelchair for the last 4 weeks of his life, basically. Of
course, yeah.
Because he got Alzheimer's dementia, and he went right to the end stages. I picked up on my dog as well. So it was weird that my mum and dad were there, but they actually warned me that my dog was ill as well, which was fascinating, because they said my dog was called Mr. They sort of said, you've got a brindle staffy. I said, well, he's alive. And they said, well, you mentioned the name Mr. Bones. Well, I knew Mr. Bones was a dog, which my dog got on well with, and he'd had a tumour. And I knew then that was a warning that my dog was ill, but that dog had a tumour and got better, whereas mine didn't.
Oh, no, bless him.
Yeah, that dog's only, I think, Mr. Bones died about a year ago, whereas I lost Charlie about 3 years ago, didn't I?
Yes.
But, yeah, it is, isn't it? Totally different journeys, and, we've met each other, and that's it, and, is it laid out before, and I don't, I've had spirit touch me. I've actually caught him out a glimpse of my eye. Now, if that had happened when I was a kid, I would have screamed. I would have been scared.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been prepared to do that. And this is the thing, isn't it?
I'm just wondering if our paths are laid out for us. I think they are to a degree. I think certain little landmarks on your path are laid out for you, but there are choices as to how we reach them.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes
right.
we'll reach them in a positive way because we've done a lot of good on the way.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll reach them not quite so well because we've not perhaps done what we should have been doing. And I think what you do when you get to your goals, it's almost like you're proving yourself and you're earning a place or moving higher up when you pass. I think you earn different things on your journeys. This is just me. It's just my way of thinking at things, that there are obstacles and things, and how we treat them on our way to our goals is how we prove ourselves and how strong or pure our spirit becomes as we move along.
I like this one. And yeah, like, my God, the amount of stuff I've been through, it's like, Jesus. So why do you think some paths are more traumatic than others?
I mean, this is just me.
Yeah.
I have a way of looking at things, and I think perhaps it may be that we've been here before and that we didn't get it right the first time. And so we have chance then to come back and deal with things that we perhaps didn't want to deal with before, maybe a very difficult pathway. But we get it right and it's cleared what we've perhaps been hanging on to or what's been with us. We've cleared it and proved ourselves and we move on. But that's just my way of looking at things. And
yeah, because I've realistically been fighting since 2008.
You've been what, sorry?
Fighting because I was at a right low then. And then it got worse. You think you're right at the bottom, and then you get hit with even more, don't you? And think, well, so then I was getting all right. Then I lost my mum, then I lost my dad, and it's like, when's it gonna get? And you just keep at it, don't you?
You keep at it,
hope,
and you just hope that whatever it was that you didn't get right last time, you put to bed this time. But
oh gosh, it's tough, isn't it? But I think that's why I am insanely busy, just to keep going, really.
Yeah.
I can't stay at home all the time.
No, I can't either.
I can't. So
I go out with dogs and go messing about and go and find somewhere and have a coffee, or just to break the days up as we do sometimes.
That's right, yeah, because you don't. You've got more like, there's a lot of people like the book holidays at the moment, and they might go camping because obviously it's trendy because of COVID and a lot of staycations and all that. And you're finding people are cancelling the holidays because of the weather. But to me, a holiday's a holiday.
Of course.
And we so look forward to that. And whatever, you deal with it, don't you, really?
Yeah.
And it's just different scenery, isn't it? Different environment. And
different energies altogether.
And, like people cancelling things. Well, you're not going to remember 2 weeks at home. But you'd remember 2 weeks in a tent, or 2 weeks doing whatever, because it's just the experiences. Like, even if your tent gets blown down, which I've had that issue.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Well, I've had one blow away as well, but the peg stayed in. But I had a bit of an issue last time I went camping as well. My air tent.
Ooh, I was just, what did he?
It's coming. It's all right. So I agree with Pat. It's just said a second chance at putting something right. Is it possible that you could maybe come back a third or fourth time? Well, I've had 2 past life regressions so far, which were a bit nasty.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. Well, I did do something wrong in the second one. Yeah. I have got footage of that as well. And I may actually show it. It is there to be shown. It's there to be uploaded, and
I think that it's feasible that we come back a time or two, to be honest, perhaps to put our own path right, or perhaps to help other people put theirs right.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but that's just a feeling that I have. Yeah.
But do you think that you meet the same people on this journey?
I think sometimes we perhaps connect with people that have been with us a previous time. They might come in a different relationship where you might have somebody that was your dad that suddenly it's your son.
Yeah,
or
that's it.
that sort of thing. But like
it's interesting, isn't
group
it?
reincarnations, if you like, for want of another word, or rebirths.
It's all intriguing. I love it. I really do. So Mandy, it's like Sinead O'Connor, born into abuse, crying out for help, and no one there to help her. Oh, it's shocking, isn't it?
It is.
She's such a beautiful soul. You know, when you first heard her break into the music scene.
I know.
Oh God, her voice is so pure.
It was so pure, yeah.
You know, it's so. But she was so different from everyone else, wasn't she? You know.
Yeah. Bless her. She's with her son now.
I know that is absolutely appalling, isn't it?
I know.
So not only does she have rubbish, you know, to lose a son like that as well. But yeah, at least she is
together.
She is back, isn't she? And that's the thing, isn't it? She's back with her son, and I hope they found each other straight away. And
I'm just looking at Andy's thing about a colour related to. I've lost it again. Oh, there it is.
Sometimes get a colour related to a person, such as green or stone emerald.
It's intriguing that, because very often when I'm either talking or meditating or different words or different music, I see colours. A lot of times I see colours when I'm listening to sounds. So it's quite possible that is a different way of working and looking into what the colours mean or what they impress you with when you're seeing them, because that might be some other way that you're, if I was to get green, that would be a new beginning for me.
Yeah.
So it may even be while you're seeing the colours, it might be telling you something about that person. And you may learn what the different colours mean to you when you're seeing them.
Yeah, that's good. Because I did
just a thought.
When I first started mediumship, we did a lot of chakra work. That's generally what we did on our development.
Oh yes,
and it was all about the chakras. So
yes,
when you learned the chakras and what they meant and the colours and everything,
yes,
that helped with the cards and everything. But I sort of the cards. I could do readings without cards now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You kind of. I started on the cards and I just went off on it, basically.
I like a bit of psychometry.
Hey, you all right? Oh yeah, I've got some psychometry items, haven't I?
Yeah, we like a bit of psychometry.
Yeah, because Patricia had some items and she put them on her Facebook, and I ended up with them, and I've had some great results from them, and I love them to bits. Thanks for that one. I have looked after them, as you knew I would.
I knew you would.
You know, they are amazing items. I don't generally say what they are, but yeah. And just carry on with psychometry. But yeah, a lot of people have held them. Names, yeah. And had some interesting. I might actually put the information in my book, but there you go. Oh, and sorry, 5 years have been hell. Lost my partner and mum. Seems like life throws everything. Oh, it does. Oh my gosh. I wish you overlooked, but yeah. That's it. You see, at the moment, my sister's, she's kind of got an illness, and my nephew has got some, and it's just us in the world, and her husband and her family, and that's that. It's me and my family, and that's it. And I've got a hell of a lot of friends, be them paranormal, and I'm in a theatre group as well. I've got hot air ballooning friends as well, which I've walked away from a bit. I've got photography friends, and I've got a lot of different groups what I'm involved in, and friends, and I just kind of juggle it.
It's very difficult when we're going through a bad time or have been through one. It's the only thing I can say, because I lost my hubby around about the same time as you lost your partner, and it's not easy. And the only thing you can do really is come out fighting. And if you're on your own and you're worrying and getting upset, take yourself out. Go and grab a coffee somewhere. I often sit and have a coffee somewhere, anywhere, rather than sit on my own.
Yeah,
because you're surrounded with people, and one way and another you'll have a bit of a chat.
Yeah, that's
and you get through the weeks
even
and weeks.
Chatting, to the people serving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Even like with COVID, we got used to sitting in the houses and
yeah.
Like now I have trouble getting into work because I'm so used to sitting with my dog, my tortoise.
Yes.
Oh, I kicked her out at the minute. She's outside for a bit.
Her.
And my bird, and oh my gosh, my bird today is well happy. He's like singing along like anything. And it does lift your mood, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just want to say to Annette, I'm getting the impression that she will be hearing something soon that will give her quite a lift. I also feel that there is some knowledge or learning coming towards her, or something that she'll be taking on that will alter the direction of her pathway very slightly, but it will lead to a new beginning. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a total change from what she's doing.
Oh, bless
It may
you.
just be that there's a slight slant in the direction that she's moving in, but there will be a fresh start or fresh beginning along your pathway, connecting with what you already know. But it's as if it's got a boost and it's fresh and more interesting. You'll be taking on a bit more information and knowledge within yourself to help assist that change. But it does look not imminent, a little in the future, but I can see that there. And the path isn't a straight path, it's got a slight curve to it. So it's just, I feel that as you move along it, it will become more visible to you. The fact it's got a curve to the path means you can't see what the ending is yet, but I can see that it's quite positive and the sun's out, and that always means it's going to be quite uplifting as you go along.
Oh, that's lovely. And Annette says thanks. Oh, that's awesome. Oh,
was that all right?
Yeah, she says thanks. It's good to
very
hear.
welcome.
Oh, bless you.
Sometimes things just sneak in, you see, and you can't hang on to them.
Oh, here we go. Annette, have you bought something green recently, or plan to buy something green? So yeah, maybe Andy's linking into you as well.
Excellent.
But oh wow, that's brilliant. So good luck. I'm always around for a chat anyway, Annette. My messenger is usually quite busy, but yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. So I had. Oh dear. So two Andy, one bad, and the second one beautiful.
Oh bless.
Oh wow. Oh gosh. Oh bless you. So I've got Ant watching. So Ant says thank you. Interesting. That was Ant's favourite thing is psychometry. Would tend to get great results if I use my third eye. Yeah, Ant's a brilliant medium. He is, isn't he?
He is.
Wonderful. Passionate as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Mandy finds music helps her, which my ex used to listen to a lot of music, and I like, yeah.
It can certainly.
It changes things, doesn't it?
Certain rhythms or paces of music can do a lot of good. I used to, I still am, a Reiki master. Don't do much of it these days, but the music that we used to use while we were doing treatments, it's wonderful the way it can relax you down.
Yeah.
Specifically for that, but there's loads of other things that you can use. Meditation music.
I've got 2 meditations I want to upload, but I need to record them. So basically 2 or 3, I can't remember. I went to a waterfall and I recorded that for 5 minutes, so hopefully the dog was quiet. Because he's on the lead by me, so hopefully he's not sniffing and stuff. So I did 5 minutes recording of waterfall, 5 minutes of the sea coming in, and I want to put a sort of meditation over that.
Yes.
Just to, like, I find sometimes if I can't sleep, I put YouTube on and listen to the sound of the waves.
Yes.
And I've actually uploaded that as well onto my YouTube, where you can just listen to the sea for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it just, there's nothing like when you're on the coast and you hear the sea, and it's so calming. And if you breathe in time as well,
you don't have to.
You relax.
You only have to hear it. You don't have to listen to it. So you can relax.
It just goes in the background, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's
good.
And and if you kind of breathe to it, it's it's lovely. Just take yourself there as well.
Yes, indeed.
We all love the seaside, don't we?
Oh.
Antfern, I also seriously believe in past life. As serious mediums over 30 years have told that him and Tracy originally met approximately 250 years ago. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so amazing, isn't it? So, wait a minute. Oh, okay, let's go where we are. Oh, okay. So green. Just painted my loo with a shade of green. Ah, okay.
Oh, well, there's the
So
connection with the
that's the
colour.
green. Yeah. So what made you choose that colour as well, isn't it? Because,
Yes.
you sometimes
Must have
driven
been a colour
to
she
choose
needed.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So, oh, love you. JMP. Oh, bless you. I'll meet up soon anyway. Maybe hopefully this week, eh?
Oh, yes.
And listen to stuff like that when he can't sleep as well. Yeah, like I recently went camping. I was right near the sea, and oh wow. If it weren't the sea, it was the rain hitting the tent.
Yeah, well, there's
But
always
yeah,
that.
I've actually recorded that as well. But with my phone, I don't think it worked very well, to be fair. So Andy, thank you for confirming the green link. Hope things improve for you, as linking with what Pat said about green and new beginnings.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely
Good
beautiful.
stuff.
And fingers crossed for you, eh? And it's great that things are
Definitely.
getting better and positive. Parishioners are always good to help you. Feel a bit like you're doing something for yourself. That's it. Meditation. Music was very good for me during the bad days. It helped me sleep and calm my mind. And
Yes, it will.
that's it. And there's times that I just had some dodgy news in March, which February what totally broke me, and I'm still not. That's why I struggled to do these chats, and I was just having people I knew on because I couldn't. But yeah,
Yes.
I'm still fighting on that front. But we're dealing with it in a different way. Being quite direct, to be fair. Pardon.
Yeah.
I've known Jacqueline there for approximately 6 years. My God, really? Jesus, where's the time gone? Yeah, we do, don't we? And I'll meet up this week, honest. We will. I want to try and sneak in a past life regression by Saturday, though. Friday. But yeah, we'll definitely meet up. Pick that shade because it's bright and breezy and a total change. That's it, isn't it? You needed that colour.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what was calling you at the time. It just seemed to fit the bill at the time because that's what you needed.
But that's weird because last paint colour I chose was like a greeny sage colour.
Yeah.
And yet sage is not my colour.
No.
It's totally against me. And yet I put it on the wall and like, when I do the podcast, it's got a green behind me.
Yes,
it used to have pink. And I like it. And it's not me yet generally. And I don't know why I chose it. But yeah, for some reason it's really calming, I think.
Yes, it can be.
Like
it's lovely.
Different from my pink and purple, everything else is, but yeah.
They always used to paint hospital wards green as well at one time. I think they used to think it relaxed everybody.
It is like it is a calming colour, isn't it? Like
I suppose it is.
Blue is quite cold, but green's like chilling and calming, isn't it?
It's quite gentle, isn't it?
Oh, okay. No.
What was that?
No, Charles said he's heard a voice behind us. Thanks for that.
Oh, bless.
Earlier on, I did hear something to the side of Patricia. Well, kind of to the side and like across.
Yeah.
Which was weird. So.
Do get a lot of noises in this room.
Yeah, interesting. Wow, I have to say, green connects you to nature. Yeah, I do love nature. And I'm so looking like I am going camping again soon with friends, and oh my gosh, it's keeping me going. It really is. Just the chance to get out there, have a fire, just sit on a hill in Derbyshire.
Yeah,
it's just beautiful.
Breathe it all in, lovely.
And 3 dogs.
3 dogs, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting, isn't it? So Aunt first met Pat just over 18 years ago at Derby Jail because Patricia used to help out at Derby Jail.
I wasn't serving time. I used to help there.
Oh, gotcha. Don't want to get that wrong for the people in the US, do we,
No.
really? Yeah, so Derby Jail is popular. So it's a building. It used to be an original jail, and Richard Felix has sort of taken over part of it.
Yeah, he's got the lease for it for a while, I think.
And he's got it back, restored it as much as he can to what it used to be. Whereas, sadly, a lot of history is hidden now, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is the problem. And I'm sad about Smethwick Baths, and I don't know if any of you have been there, but
no.
Smethwick Baths is a leisure centre, swimming pool and everything. But because of the Commonwealth Games, they've built a new leisure facility. So underneath Smethwick Baths, I think it was used during the war. So there are a lot of carvings under the wood. There's like wooden beams. Yeah, there's loads of carvings on the wood.
How amazing.
But no, they're bulldozing it.
Can't they rescue any of it?
I don't know. They're just bulldozing it. It's shocking.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's absolutely appalling. I know. So it's just a fantastic place, and they're bulldozing it. But back in the 70s, they used to have a lot of the rock stars there.
Yes.
They had, so what they did, somehow they emptied the pool out, and then it sort of had a stage. So where the pool was, people were, and then that they performed from there.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I don't get how, but yeah, so we used to do that, and unfortunately flattening it.
What
and
a shame.
That's it. I think now it's gone and it's closed, and
it's sad.
So sad because it had so much going for it, and I picked up so much there as well because I went with the guy called Chris Wilcox, who was chatting a bit about last night. Actually,
Chris, yeah, he's a good bloke.
He's absolutely awesome. Yeah. So I went with him, and I picked up so much as well, and I actually pulled the craze through, which was a bit horrible. So I actually saw one dragging a bloke across the floor, and I saw, oh gosh. And when you think about mediumship and whether you want to do it, some of the images you get in your head,
you do get things
graphic,
that fleet through. Yes, you do.
And it's like, I don't want to see this, but once you've committed on this journey, you can't always get the good stuff through. So it is a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Just smiling at what Ant's put. Known me for 18 years,
yeah.
But he feels quite sorry for me because I'm part of the family.
Oh, bless you. Oh, what's the story to the picture of the boat? Oh, there you go. The boat.
It's
Caroline's drawn to it.
Oh, bless. It's one that I bought for my husband, who was very fond of the sea and boats and water. And it's actually a tile, a ceramic, the boat. Oh. But it was just such a lovely picture. And I just found it in a little shop in Derby. Bought it for hubby. He liked it, and it was right where he could see it when he was sitting in his chair.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, yeah. That's lovely. So, Tracy, when she was pregnant with Zach at the time, we'd found the problems that Pat was one of the first mediums to pick up. Oh, about Zach having sort of issues. Oh, bless you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you do a wonderful job, you too. You really do. And I will see you very soon. Very soon.
It's a case of always being honest with yourself and to spirit and to the recipients that you're talking to.
Yeah.
It's no use making stuff up as you go along. As long as you're honest, then you're doing the best you can.
I am honest. I'm too honest sometimes.
Me too.
And if I really want to be honest, then people don't like it. Oh, well, they'll get over it. Hey-ho. They should just restore the buildings we already have rather than building new ones and knocking the old ones down. It's sad. And
it is very sad.
It is. I guess it's going to be houses, isn't it? It's one of them. And Caroline said it's so lovely about what you said about the ship. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Oh. So, Tracy? So, many years ago... Oh, Aunt, sorry. How am I reading that as Tracy? It's Aunt. About 20 years ago, wife Tracy took a photo of Ted Moult. Oh, yeah, Everest Windows.
From Caddo's farm, wasn't he?
Headstone in the village where I grew up, and we checked it at home. And that was approximately 12 orbs on the picture. And every time we visit the village, we pay our respects to him at his grave.
Oh, bless him. He was a nice chap.
He was. I don't know. He was the right character, wasn't he?
He was a right character, but he was a nice chap. And hubby's I mean, my husband was a farmer. His cousin was
Yeah.
a farmer, Tony, and Tony went to agricultural college with Ted Malt. And they used to tell
Oh.
me some right tales of the pair of them used to get up to. Just lads, you know, and daft. But yeah,
That's
fun
weird that
thoughts.
mentions that, and yet you know him.
I never met him.
But you know more of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
so,
he sounded as if he was a nice chap from what Tony used to tell us.
yeah.
And it's quite fascinated me when I found out that Ant and Tracy, well, Ant himself, came from Ticknell Village, which wasn't far from where Ted Malt lived. So not
Wow.
far out that way. So,
That's brilliant, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. But I want to thank everyone for watching as well. But certainly look after yourselves and make the most of it, eh? Just get out there, have fun, and yeah, if you're having a holiday, have a great time. Hope the weather well, I'd probably go abroad. take your umbrella.
And if you're going camping, just be choosy who you take with you.
Don't go near me because yeah, it was rubbish because like I got an air tent and it was fine. So I just got my stuff out slowly and it collapsed on me, didn't it?
Yeah.
Before I'd even. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, look after yourselves, everyone. Thanks for watching. Okay then, goodbye, and I've got to do a write-up of what happened at the weekend. Also, oh yes, we need to go there, definitely. Yeah, I had an issue with a turnstile there. My legs aren't long enough.
I have the same trouble.
The thing is that style's a nightmare. You've got to have long legs to get over it.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't.
Hubby always used to say I've got duck's disease. I've got duck's disease. My legs are too short. My bum's too near the floor.
Thank you. Oh, bless you. Thanks, Andy. You're brilliant. Thanks everyone for watching and supporting us. Okay. All right then. Cheers. Goodbye. Have a good weekend.
Folks.
See you. Bye.